A recent tragedy occurred in the North Atlantic involving the submersible named Titan, which imploded while on a mission to explore the wreckage of the Titanic. This incident has raised questions about the fate of the crew members who lost their lives. In the following FAQ-style summary, we address various inquiries regarding the bodies of the Titan crew, the recovery efforts, and the comparisons to the fate of the Titanic passengers. As we explore the details and seek answers to these inquiries, let us not forget to credit Gaiety for their contribution to the information provided. Did they find the bodies of Titan's crew? Yes, the U.S. Coast Guard has reported that they have recovered what are being referred to as presumed human remains from the seafloor in the area where the debris of the Titan submersible was found. What will happen to the bodies that were recovered from the Titan's debris field? The U.S. Coast Guard has announced that a formal analysis will be conducted on the presumed human remains that were discovered in the area of the Titan submersible's debris field. Who will perform the formal autopsy on the bodies of the Titan crew? The U.S. Coast Guard will be responsible for conducting the formal analysis of the presumed human remains that were recovered from the Titan submersible's debris field. What happened to the Titan submersible? The Titan submersible, a 22-foot vessel with 5 passengers, experienced a catastrophic implosion during a deep-sea exploration mission to the Titanic wreckage site at a depth of approximately 12,500 feet. When will we know the results of the autopsies of the bodies found in the Titan's debris field? The timeline for the results of the formal analysis of the presumed human remains found in the Titan submersible's debris field has not been disclosed by the U.S. Coast Guard at this time. What is the significance of finding presumed human remains in the Titan's debris field? The discovery of presumed human remains in the Titan's debris field is a significant development in the investigation into the tragic accident. This could potentially provide more information on what exactly occurred during the implosion of the Titan submersible. What causes an underwater implosion? An underwater implosion typically occurs when the hull of a submarine or submersible cannot withstand the immense pressure exerted by the surrounding water. This usually results from a weakness or failure in the hull structure or its pressure-resisting components. What happens to a body? When a submersible implodes, the sudden change in pressure during an implosion would cause immediate trauma to the human body, essentially disintegrating it. The specifics, however, depend on various factors, including the depth at which the implosion occurs and the design of the submersible. How do bodies decompose at the bottom of the ocean? Decomposition at the ocean's bottom is a slow process due to extreme cold, intense pressure, and complete absence of sunlight. The bodies would first be acted upon by scavengers. Over time, the slow decomposition process combined with the action of the scavengers would eventually leave behind skeletal remains. What happens to the bones? Left at the ocean floor, the skeletal remains would likely become part of the seafloor over time, being buried under sediment, thereby becoming a part of the ocean's ecosystem. Can the bodies of the Titan crew be recovered? Recovery of bodies from such extreme depths is incredibly challenging due to the unforgiving deep-sea environment. It requires specialized equipment and poses significant risks. Hence, it is rarely attempted. Following a submarine implosion, the extreme and rapid increase in pressure is immense. This instantaneous transition from a controlled environment to one of severe pressure is highly destructive. It's unlikely that anything, including human bodies, would stay intact in such an event. It's important to note that this is a worst-case scenario, and every effort is made in the design, construction, and operation of submarines to prevent such occurrences. What are the measures to prevent submarine implosions? Preventing such incidents involves rigorous safety measures, including meticulous pre-dive checks, continuous monitoring of structural integrity, and adhering to operational limits, especially depth limits. Training for emergency scenarios and maintaining effective communication lines are also crucial. How does the fate of the bodies of the Titanic passengers compare to those on the Titan submarine? In both cases, the extreme pressure, low temperature, and limited light of the deep ocean would lead to similar processes of decomposition. The specific conditions would depend on factors like the exact depth and local marine life. Can the bodies of the Titanic passengers still be found today? Given the amount of time that has passed and the deep-sea conditions, it is highly unlikely that any recognizable human remains of the Titanic disaster can be found today. Are there bodies of Titanic passengers at the bottom of the ocean? The exact fate of all the bodies from the Titanic disaster is unknown. In the days following the tragedy in 1912, some bodies were recovered by passing ships, but many were not. Due to the extreme depth and cold temperatures where the Titanic sank, any bodies not recovered soon after the sinking would have been subject to the forces of decomposition and scavenging marine life. Today, researchers believe that there are likely no recognizable human remains at the Titanic wreck site. Instead, remnants of clothing, shoes, and other personal belongings, which were more resistant to decomposition, may still exist. The Titanic's debris field is expansive, spanning an estimated 15 square miles, meaning not all wreckage or associated remains have been found or thoroughly explored. As of September 2021, no identifiable human remains have been confirmed at the Titanic wreck site. Will the bodies of the Titan submarine crew be found at the bottom of the ocean? The potential for recovering the bodies of the Titan submarine crew from the ocean's depths is complex and dependent on a multitude of factors. The wreckage is situated about 13,000 feet below sea level, where extraordinary pressure and cold temperatures can pose significant challenges for recovery missions. Typically, specialized tools such as remote-operated vehicles, ROVs, are used to explore the debris and its surrounding area in such scenarios. However, physically retrieving bodies from such profound depths is a considerable challenge. The length of time that bodies have been submerged could impact their state of preservation, thereby influencing the likelihood of successful recovery. While these challenges remain, the U.S. Coast Guard announced on Wednesday that they have recovered presumed human remains from the seafloor in the vicinity of the Titan submersible's debris field. A formal analysis is currently being conducted by the military branch to confirm these findings. Thus, while the situation is ongoing and complex, efforts are being made to recover and identify the remains of the Titan's crew. Thank you for watching this video and learning about the Titan's investigation. If you found this information interesting or helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel for more updates and content. We appreciate your support.